Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 381. Medicam's done an update, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be better.
Hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love. I'm hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love.
Dark side. Let the fate control your body. In the beginning, there was written.
Come follow me, yeah. It's love, hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love.
Hello. Good to be back. Let's see if that plays. Too late for it. Good to be back. Good to be back. Been a busy week. Busy week painting TR3B. I finally finished it today. The detailed work. I just realised my eyes and my hands are not as steady as they used to be when I was younger. But also right from afar. It's not like going to be professional A-grade painting. Because for the starters we didn't have smooth sides to paint over, which kind of made it a bit more tricky, right? Especially where I was painting the windows and vents. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I've got the 3 lights in the corner now. Well, almost 3 lights. The front one I changed a wee bit to be like a wedge light. Have to be a wee bit different. But yeah, I will probably be doing a video update once that's dry, and maybe even doing a parody with it with Blake Cousins saying we received this footage from a pilot. So we'll see what I'll do. It's just a matter of getting a quiet room when no one else is there to be able to do it. There's another problem. So yeah, better type up the welcome message. Not sure if anyone's out there yet. Doesn't look like it. I think everybody's given up. Like I said, this will be my last year if this doesn't sort of keep developing. You guys got to help me promote the site, especially on BitChute. BitChute has slowed right down to a crawl, and I have no clue why. Maybe someone's not promoting it anymore for us, or a search engine has pulled it because it's BitChute, and you know what the politics like and censorship is. Live-381. More UFO vids to look over. Okay, that's up there now. So, not sure where Area 51 has been lately, but we're not seeing them for the last couple of shows. With all the hassle of COVID, I suppose he's going to be a busy ambulance driver. Although, aren't they meant to be on top of it now?
Oh, yeah.
They got the vaccines, or double vaccines, or triple drip injections. So yeah, and they don't tell you the side effects, what percentage have side effects. So yeah, we got a new follow. Thank you for joining us. Do join us on the side chat if you want to. So yeah, got a bit to go over again. So we'll go through it. Haven't had much time to prepare. Like I said, I've been busy with side projects for the channel. But definitely we need more people helping us to promote it, else we're not going to get the truth out there, and the frauds are going to make a right mess, even more big mess of ufology. I still think it'll take 30 years before ufology comes back right again, once enough people, Generation M, wise up to being gullible. Unfortunately, that's the case. They really need to learn to be more critical thinkers and realise that 99% of it that they're being shown is mundane stuff, and people are not being honest about flares, balloons, and hoaxes, of course. And there's a lot of hoaxes seems to be coming through now. MUFON used to get a few every month, actually. And we've come across a few on there ourselves when we've been going over it randomly. People need to sleep. It's 4 a.m. Well, it's 4 p.m. here, so that means you must be in UK or somewhere like that. That's alright, so you can always join us or watch it once it's completed. It'll be being uploaded to all the alt media streams. Daily Motion is a bit stupid. You're limited to 2-hour blocks a day. And you can only upload it in 1 hour chunks, so it's pretty hopeless for doing live shows or even backing up live shows to it. But I'm on there. My main channel is BitChute, and YouTube is my backup to it, because YouTube has basically suppressed my channel. But yeah, we've got a few things to go over. From a ring object seen on a telescope, this one here with the rotating lights, although I haven't got the original link to the video on that one. What was that one? Lights coming down. That looks like an airport. So yeah, we're just gonna have to find all those videos, I guess. What was that one? Oh, that was a comment. Bigfoot. I got some more stuff on Bigfoot here. We'll go over some interesting stories. A new TV show that's coming. A new channel that we've come across. UFOs Worldwide seems to be like an honest channel, which makes a bit of a difference, to what we usually see. And he's put up a video that he wasn't sure on, and I'll be going over it. Although, didn't I have a link to that? Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. I got it on a folder. I'll just get up the folder. So we've got a rough idea where we're going to go. Some gufon, some third phase, some other channel, some Bigfoot stuff, and see where we go. Okay, here it is. A MUFON case, which is put up by that UFOs Worldwide. It's the old one. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before, but it doesn't hurt to talk about it again. For new information. So first of all, gufon. Let's see if we can find that video first. I should have had it booked back here already. Let's see if we can find it. He's gone live. More junk to look at. Which one was it on? Let's have a look. Okay, he's muted. Has he got a link to it, maybe? what's that one? Private. Yeah, let's see if we got the right video first. Yeah, I thought I had the link to it already set up for this. It's always a bum trying to find a little segment. Unless it's in the tweet, of course. I didn't check, did I? Let me just check. Did I post the link to it? Alright, it's called This Will Shock You. So we need to find that video. So we're on the wrong one. Okay. This Will Shock You. So it's on this one. So he should have it in his list, shouldn't he? Because he claims he gets permission. And we know that's not true. Third phase. Okay, so is it third phase one? No, I don't think so. Colorado, rubbish, Popular, no. Neuro thing. So let's see if it's that one. I'm pretty sure I've seen this video a long time ago, actually. It's amazing how much gets recirculated, right? Anyone's seen Richie? That's not it. Who cares about Richie? Any interest in UFOs? Theories, The Verge. I wonder what one it is. Bizarre Craft. It sounds like that one, doesn't it? Everything's bizarre. Until you know what it is. Okay, I think it might be this one. Okay, let's have a look at it. Now let me just check out the audio while we're here. Oh, come on.
En el aire, mira para eso, tú.
Oh.
Mira aquello, mira que está mirando. Oye, pero como viene distinto.
What's that? Spanish? South American? Sounds like it's right here.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Terry's Theories. This is Terry. Alright, this video was recorded by Joel H. It was recorded on July 8th of 2019, and it was recorded in Cuba. Now, I don't speak Spanish, so maybe some of my Spanish-speaking listeners could maybe translate what they're saying.
Okay, so it's a light that seems to be spinning. So it could be a balloon at this stage, or it could be a kite that's spinning around in circles, or it could be some sort of rotating light. So let's just keep watching.
Saying that would be greatly appreciative.
Okay,
well, Joel H.
Okay, we don't need to listen to that guy. Here we go. Now it's looking a bit crazy. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Kind of looks like a kite at the moment, doesn't it? It's got the right structure for a V shape. You can see a V shape happening here. And it kind of reminds me of one of those lead kites that has like a array of LEDs underneath, which you can emanate how you want if you program it before you actually fly it. It's amazing what you can store in NAND memory, N-A-N-D. Alright. It looks like a kite and one of those rotating LED lights. Now, Gufon, his usual comment was, I don't know. But it's not a balloon. Okay, it's not a balloon. That's correct. So I think what we're looking at here is, we've come across it before. LED kite triangle. Well, we'll just try LED kite. And images. Okay, we just have to find the right one. You can see it's going to be something like this one here. Let's see if we can get a better picture, because we've got no emanations of how the lights are working. But here we go, here's one. That's a triangle shape, and it's got these spiral things. So I think it might be this one. And it looks like the wings, right? So the wings are coming out the sides, but we can't see the rest of the material. Like this one, it looks like it's got some light material in between. Like a grey material that sort of blends in with the sky, which is what we see in there. And these just rotate. So I wonder if we can find the emanation of that one. So that's 2021. But I'm pretty sure these have been around for a few years now. 5 square meters, is it? What's it saying there? They're quite big. So, and you also got ones that actually look like UFOs, but it's not that one. Definitely looks like this one. Let's see if we can pull an image from it. It looks like he's zoomed in. Okay, let's get our own image from it. And let's see if we can prove it. At least on that angle you can see the tip being black there of the kite. The amount of times we've seen this one come up. Of course, it doesn't have to rotate like that. They can program it any way they want to. Okay, we'll save that and run it through some filters like we usually do here. We try and solve it. Man-made or alien? Now, I am a believer, a truther, so debunking comes part of being a truther. You got to get rid of the noise before you got the good stuff left behind. The problem is the good stuff is often classified, military stuff, as you know. Is that the right image? I think it must be. Where's I'm in a wee bit of a pain with my back today, so everything's working against me, and my arm hurts as well for some reason. To have a new body, but keep your mind. Okay, so it look like a triangle now, a triangle kite. So let's see if we can enhance it. Of course, a lot of these channels don't do this, right? So we could just do brightness, which probably won't do much. Alright. But you can see it's definitely a triangle shape popping up there. Now if we switch the colours, and then we can do a lot more with the image. If the CPU wants to play, of course we are limited of course, because now we're getting a lot of overflow of the light around the atmosphere and off the canvas, off the kites there. So yeah, it's a matter of finding the sweet spot. And it could be a bit hard, especially if your CPU is slow when you try and do a stream. Looks like we're not going to get the perfect sweet spot probably. Probably have to do a combination. It shows how much light it's given off into the atmosphere from those LEDs, but you can see here it's definitely reflecting off something going across here and something that's forming a peak there. But yeah, it's not very good. And we've got 2 bands of light pretty much. Definitely a triangle shape. Yeah, it's a bit hard not to get the overexposure business going. What else can we try here? OBG. Maybe that will help us. That's a bit better, isn't it? Now we can start to see the lines there. This takes a wee bit too much and then it goes wrong. Definitely you can see this part of the kite come across here. You can see it's got a circular bit going around. Too much now. Very fine adjustment there. All of the colours are crammed in the same spectrum there. Let's just try again. Back in that. That up. Nope. That's the whites. It's very hard to get it to where you want it. You can start to see the circular bit now though. Where it's going up to the peak and around the edge, back around, going around there. Look, that shows us on that level the spinning LED bank. But it's not actually moving. It's just, as you saw on the picture, it's just an array of LEDs that can spin around in a pattern. And look at the CPU's going crazy. And you can start to see the rest of the triangle bit of the kite on that one there. So we changed the blacks to sort of like a blue colour. So let's just keep that one there for the time being. And let's just grab this one and see if we can overlay it. And we'll see. Now we'll keep it in proportion. We'll know it's the same kite. The right dimensions. Okay, now we can drag it on. There's a layer. Obviously we're going to have to bend it and twist it. In fact, it's even almost the same colour as it's lit up here. It's got the black red, and it's got the grey bit going across, the blue bit going across. Okay, so let's erase some of this outer. Don't know if the magic wand will help us. There's a lot of colours on there, as you can see. Try that one. It's not perfect, but it'll give us enough to work with. And then does it work? How do we undo the magic wand? Normally you have to deselect, but then it goes wrong. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. That'll do. Is it still moving? I've got a line there, but that's alright. So we need to scale it up. And you can see it's already gone wrong. As soon as you deselect it, it seems to change the grab handles wrong on the software. Although I haven't updated it for a while because I'm too scared it's going to get slower. Let's see. Zoom out. And I'll scale it up proportionally. Okay, a wee bit tricky. Maybe too big now. Zoom out. Where's the handles gone? Needs to be rotated a bit. Where's the rotate? Says it was rotating, but it wasn't. There we go. Maybe a wee bit too big still, but it looks like it's matching up pretty good, huh? How are we going for time? I've only got 2 hours here. It's close. No cigar yet though. I think I lost the tip of my kite when I edited it. Might be slightly bigger. There we go. Let's just do a merge. There you go. So that's original. And there's that kite over top. It may be slightly 3D and 3D direction wrong, the Z axis I think. But it's really close. Let's just halfway it. That's both images. And layer, zoom, rotate. Let's see. It's going to be that direction a wee bit. And maybe just a wee bit bigger. Let's see if that looks now more correct. I think we got some breed out of light here at the bottom here as it's going around. But yeah, it seems to be matching here pretty good. Zoom out. There we go. Let's do a layer thing and see how close we are. Original kite. There you go. 100% match, huh? I know we got some missing data here probably, and a wee bit of overexposure here, but I think that's what you call 99.8% match. And there you go, so it's not a UFO. And if you had a decent camera, of course, with optical zoom, they would have known that. Although the LEDs are quite bright and could hide a lot of the detail too, as well. but I'm pretty sure a HD 4K camera probably could nail that one. A bit like the planes, you know, the planes look like blurry dots, like tic-tac. So when you get a proper camera, then you start to see the wings and windows and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, let's just save that and move on to the next one. Number 2. Oh, that'll do. Come on. It's very slow processes. It looks small on the screen here, but it's probably a big file by now. So let's just save that. So we saved it as equivalent to an MP4 quality where it doesn't change the pixels. So they can get quite big. So it's 460 4K. And the original was 500. Okay, so we just keep a copy of those. And move on to the next case. So yeah, if you listen to Mr. Gufon, he's Mr. I don't know. If you want answers, talk to me. Now, I wonder where it was in his video though. We didn't quite see it. Gone and closed it, didn't I? That was that one. Yeah, he's putting up a lot of old ones lately. So that one we debunked as possible. As you can see here, it's very hazy in the background of this video. But they're clearly not filming in HD, right? They're doing it in higher quality, probably 4K, but more likely to be burst mode, where they don't need audio, but they can just take 1,000 frames a second using burst mode and using the full sensor, and that way you can actually, you know, fast moving objects, you can actually see detail, unlike all the crap we get currently. So yeah, you can see it looks very overcast there, like it's a snow cloud moving in. So I think it's a snowflake still, but I might be the only one that's saying that. A lot of people might say it's pollen or dust. But that's not the one that we're just looking at. It's amazing. Can't seem to find it. Bob Lazar. They're still talking about Bob Lazar for some reason. Ghosts. Yeah. McWest's video. So what order did he do it in? Let's have a quick look. Third phase. I don't think that's the right order, is it? So we just have to keep finding it. It's got to be here somewhere. Could that be it? That's the one. Let's see what he says. Okay.
is an interesting name. I never showed this one on the show because I thought it was too, you know, fake looking. But it might be real. I don't know why this UFO is making the rounds. Does anybody know anything about this?
I do. I just told you.
UFO sighting. Did no research on it.
So what do you guys feel like we're looking at? I do not feel that this is fakery.
Well, there we go. Well, he said it all.
It's not fake, no.
It's not fake. Anybody? SGI? First Floor Audio, welcome to the show. Misty OC Dragons, welcome to the show. Felicia Flores, welcome to the show. Carefree Observatory, welcome to the show. UFO sightings. That isn't.
He needs to focus on the thing, doesn't he?
Interesting name. I never showed this one on the show because I thought it was too, you know. This is really Richard Christie. We're going to be using some of your stuff today that you and I have talked about. I'm going to be posting.
This is a very old video.
Fan jumping up and down like a.
Is he going to analyze it?
By
or
the
is he
way,
too busy talking to the audience?
Thank you very much. Hey, welcome to the show. Every time I say your name, it's Stuger. It was not.
It's useless, isn't he?
You know what I mean?
Focus, man. Focus. I don't know why I swallowed a fly.
Did the third phase guys tell you sit here? So Valerian the Mac the Third, welcome to the show. Rebecca Toina, welcome to the show. Claudia Rodriguez, welcome to the show.
God almighty.
That and got it. Thank you, guys. That's right. In this field,
is he going to talk about it?
Dave's relationship.
Who cares about Dave?
And there were other people that are major players in ufology. That I apologize if you were upset. This is really Richard Christie. We're going to be using some of your stuff today that you and I have talked about. I'm going to be posting it. We're going to be talking about pretty good stuff.
Let's stick him on triple speed.
A lot of stuff from you guys, and I haven't gotten back to everybody yet. And I know it's been several days. I will be getting back to those emails. I promise you that. And if I didn't, this here is very interesting. I don't get it.
Y'all give me your opinion and let me know what you think. But what we have in the back, we see that this object has got a part of it that spins.
Man, I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know.
I mean, come on, look at that. Holy mackerel. Copy with a $10 super sticker for $10.
Yeah.
See it over here? And Steven, $2 $4 cup of Joe from the pair that knows
interested
what I need. Got it. Thank you, guys. That's
you
right.
should thank
Super
the guys
chat.
after the show, not during the show. Or at least after the video analysis, and then go back and thank people after you've analysed the clip, you dork.
Super happy to be here at Gufon. You know what? I'm happy too. Thank you very much. Hey, you know what? Look, I got to say something. I know a couple of days ago with the SOR scandal and all that stuff.
See, he just can't focus. Let's get rid of that clown. So he said he don't know. Okay. I think he's high on weed and his energy drinks there, right? So what's the next one? So yeah, if you want to...
Oh, yeah.
Now this is he's meant to be teamed up with the biggest UFO channel, right? And the guy is a complete idiot. There's no way to about it, He proves it himself. I don't have to tell you he's an idiot. You can see it for yourself. And he's got no skills in this field. I don't even know why he's in it, to tell the truth. He should be doing something else. Maybe talking about cats or dogs or something. I don't know. Hey, we got another follower at least. Who we got this time? AC Punk. Go and punk gufon for us. Okay, so Kite, lead Kite. That was lead Kite, and with rotated effects. And the Chinese are going to make it really hard for us because they're the ones that are producing all this new toys, right? So that one can be closed. Let's move on. Okay, the next one was third phase of the moon, I think. You won't believe, this is the clickbait, you won't believe what just happened again. So let's find that one. It's frustrating, it really is. My heart drops every time I see these stupid videos. I can understand MUFON getting depressed. Hey, well, you won't believe. So it's this one here. Third phase of the moon. Okay. And they got the stupid music, so you can't hear what's going on in the background wherever there's plane noises. So you'd always have to go to the original anyway if they provide it, right? But yeah, we'll just have a listen to the dribble. Okay. What can it be? Well, could be military flares being dropped and then they have a timer on it where they light up. Could be drones at the moment, but this one here, you can see how it looks like it's got some smoke trail coming from it, so it looks more like a flare than LED lights. Now that one's definitely further away. This one's definitely closer to the camera. But it's fair enough distance away that you don't actually see smoke from the flare, handheld flares is. So they're not like military flares that make a lot of smoke. The handheld ones make a wee bit of smoke, right? What else could it be? Skydivers. Drones, skydivers, hang gliders with flares on them. What else have I missed? Possibilities. UFOs. Nah. Seems to be heading towards the ground and they seem to be going in a zigzag pattern. As you can see. Which the paragliders. Okay, so there's obviously a few of them coming down. And as they get to a certain height, they light a handheld flare. Red one, by the looks of it. And when it goes out, they throw it to the ground probably, or, well, stick it in a pocket and light another one. Okay, we got no information as well. What we got? What just happened? What the heck is going on? Clickbait title, but no information, right? So what do we got here? Just a link and the guy's name. No information, location, the key stuff that you need to know. But as you can see, it looks like it's moving with gravity going downwards. But as you can with the paragliders, you can actually lift up. If you get a crosswind, you can actually lift yourself up because it's actually like a curved wing, right? So it's got an airfoil, so it can actually lift you up. But it can only go a certain distance, right? It's like a normal, like a hang glider. No, one of those big gliders. What do you call them? The ones with the big wings and stuff. They can fly around on air currents, vortexes by going up by using flaps and stuff. And you can see, looks like an airport. It's got a fence line here. And it looks like these lights are going down on an angle. So they're coming down like this and then going off in that direction. Which is typical of air current. You can hear the air current there. But we don't know which way it's going. Is the audio still sounding okay here? I'm paranoid, just gonna crackle. It's got this mixer bug that randomly shows up. You can see it's definitely landing there. You can see that it's a fair distance away. You're not going to see any smoke from the flares. And you know what they're going to say?
We're looking at this incredible video and we're going to be going over...
You know what they always say? The hoaxers always tell you what it is and then they lead you away from it. saying, I can't be this because we can't see smoke, or can't be this because the wind's going the wrong direction. So yeah, all I can say is do your own research. Don't listen to these guys, because they're like magicians, illusionists, right? They're clever with the old psychology of the voice tricks, as I call it. The words they use and the misdirection, of the hands and stuff.
In detail in regards to some of the phenomena that we're witnessing in regards to these lights in the sky. What could they be? Some people might even speculate that these are parachuters with pyrotechs, but after you look at the video a little closer, you can tell that this fiery objects, whatever they are way too large to be parachuters with simple pyrotechs. And some people also might speculate that they could be military flares, but in comparison to what military flares look like, what you're looking at right now, it doesn't leave any kind of
so that's not a fair comparison. Okay, so they're illumination flares for starters, and they're not the red ones.
A smoke trail. These lights are individual, they're very bright, they change in colors and dynamics, and at one point in the video you can almost make out a craft, a black flying saucer, the light in between, and this black silver.
Okay, so the black craft they're talking about is probably the black parachute, right? But I think it might also be part of the cloud. I'm not too sure. Here, it's a bit hard to tell, but it's more likely to be a black parachute, right? A paraglider, and compression artifacts, right? From MP4 compression, the way it works with colors and motion, and of course the stability of the hand movements, right? The fine movements can create these artifacts.
The ship itself, is it being revealed? Is there some kind of...
So I did some analysis on it, but if you go to the original video, we can actually hear it. So there's the frame of a few seconds ago of the so-called black ships, right? I believe that could be a hang glider one here, and that could be a distance one here. So, although as you know, the camera is really poor quality, and obviously there could be another one here. But I could see this greyness and blackness between the black bits, which kind of looks like smoke to me. So if that's a flare, it looks like it's got some smoke that's drifting down this way. But I think that might be either a cloud of smoke or a parachute, like that. And you can see here on my diagram that I did, I don't believe they're that stupid, but you can see here a small light far away. You don't see any smoke like they were showing you on that picture, right? And you might get a cloud of illuminated cloud cover where it illuminates the cloud, but you can't see any smoke. So you can see the streaks there. What was the image I took it from? This one here. Was it? Nope. I think it was actually this one here, and when you run it through from filters, you get to see all these other details that you can't see on that picture. See, and you don't see the black bits. Black bits are going to be, like I said, like these pyrotechnic gliders, right? Why would you have a bright coloured canopy if you want to create the illusion of meteorite coming down or whatever? But it looks to me like they're not doing anything particular there. Try to create a pattern of some kind. Some reckon it's Orion star system. It's possible, but then it doesn't explain this one here where they're still lit. I suppose it's still looking a bit like the same star pattern, I guess. But you can see it's gotten smaller because they're flying away, you see. They're coming down here originally and then turned and then headed off that way. Glided down to what looks like a hangar in the background. So yeah, stupid really, isn't it? It's fairly obvious what it is when you start to break it down and put some analysis on it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have said that was flares from parachuters, and other people wouldn't have a clue. So they have these handheld flares. I don't know if you can find any pictures of them holding flares. Paraglider or parachute, I don't know. What's the words that we use? Flare in hand. Sometimes they light them in daytime for football stadiums and they come down. And you can see them holding the red flares in their hand. But like this guy here, and you can see they don't have much smoke coming off them. They have a wee bit of smoke, but not terribly like they're shown in that picture. That was what I call misdirection. See, it's very much like I was showing you on the filter image. And you can see the smoke around it. Okay, when you first light it, it makes a big plume, which we did actually see on one of these images. Did seem to have a lot of stuff. So that's probably the parachute there. That's the guy at the bottom of it. It's a fair distance down. And he's just lit it and it's made this plume of smoke and it's drifted over here. That's probably not another canopy then. That's probably the smoke as he's drifted past. But anyway, it's a bit hard to tell as the picture's not the best. It's either smoke or it's a canopy. One or the other. There you go. You can see it's got that connection point too, which I was pointing out there. Between the plume, there it is there, look. But I was hoping for a daytime shot of a parachute. Maybe skydiver. Can't try that word. Here we go. Anyone with flares at all? You can see they have these black canopies, right? You can see they're fair distance down from it. Yeah, it's got black, it's got some colour in it. We'll try skydiver. Flare in hand, see if that comes up. Nope. Blow me. I have come across it before. What's that one got? No, nothing. There's the sun behind. I have seen it, but here we go. Here's some. They've got a wee bit of smoke coming off those ones. But you can see it's not terribly much. Those ones have got the sparklers on the boots, so it's not the handheld flares. But even so, it's not that much smoke coming off it. Where's the one that lights a flare in the hand? Looks like I'm not going to find it, but we'll move on. You can see if people are holding it on the ground like that, they can hold it quite safe in their hand. As long as they don't set the chute on fire or burn through the cable. It's funny how it's not come up with the what we're after. Let's try quotes around that. How are we going for time? The Landon flare. Just want a simple image. Nope. Oh, here we go. Has that got flare going? Has he got it in the hand? What's he doing? Shoots at parachute with a flare. That's kind of crazy. That would be way to die. Canopy burn skydiving stunt. Okay. Must have a backup chute then. I've never seen that before, but anyway. Oh, there's another one where it's almost gone. These people are crazy. Crazy people. You can see here's another one. Flare safe Daredevil's life. Okay. Shoot on fire. I just can't find it. I know you can get it on paragliders. So normally stick it in the corners. And they pull cables to light it. But they're normally bigger ones. Paragliders. Let's have a look. These ones here. Not those ones either. Maybe hang gliders. Unbelievable. I just can't seem to find the images. I'm after. Was that one there? Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. That one's hang glider. And he's got two flares going there. But it's still a crappy image. Anyway, you know what I mean. Google's getting worse for searches for sure. I should actually start a library of these things up so I can just jump into a folder and just show. Because the amount of times we reuse the same stuff, the amount of times we get the same another video which is very similar to one we've already looked at a year ago or whatever. But yeah, you know, I typed in flare and no flare. Perhaps they just call it pyros then, even if it's a flare. Pyro, maybe? Even that probably hasn't got anything. Well, this one, it's got the two flares going. Here we go. I wouldn't really call it a pyro. It's got it on the corners here. It just lights up in certain sequences. There we go. Here's a side view. Not the best though. Must be something better than this. Hang glider. There's the big ones I'm talking about that can circle around for a long time on air currents. But yeah, still. Skydivers. Pyro. Oh, that one. Oh, that's got the sparkly boots. Oh, there's one. Is that the sparkly boot still there? Oh yeah. See, it looks like sparkles. Not a flare. Now here's one sparkly as well. Well, that's stuffed me up a wee bit. That's the boots again. Where's the handheld stuff? I've seen it. You just have to believe me. Hand. Let's see. What else can I try? Pyro. Handheld. Let's try. Nope. That's the boots. That's definitely the boots. Nope. I just can't find it. Maybe it was in a video I saw it. But anyway, I'll move on.
Cloaking that we're looking at that is giving some kind of illusion. Something that resembles maybe the Predator. It's not a full cloak, but it almost reveals a craft in itself, massive in size. You can see it as it passes down through the clouds, then it disappears, but then...
So these people have so many people watch them. Still 28,000 and 2,000 likes on this video. Now, what did these idiots say? Anyone said what I just said? All I can say is you can't believe what you see anymore. Why not? Did you all miss the triangle-shaped cloud? No, could that be because it's a hang glider? Well, a parachute, black parachutes. Those are definitely sources with cloaking technology. That's a UFO, crazy stuff. Anyone know what the background at this location? Nope, no we don't. Remember, skydivers usually try to avoid clouds. Well, they're actually below the clouds. Cloaking ability, they're sucking it up, aren't they? Definitely, this is the problem. Why would the military place this tech on display? That's because it's not military, it's just people having fun. That guy that filmed it, he would have known it was skydivers. There we go. Skydivers hovering and ascending and descend. Sure, buddy. Where did you get this guy? Exactly. I suppose a lot of the good comments have been deleted though. They turn off and back on. That's because they discard the last one and light another one. Not drones. Drones, nope. Why can't these be drones? Because they're not. Electric plasma universe theory. These guys are just so fun. I reckon the comments are more funny than anything, actually. This is why people think UFO people are nut jobs, because they believe in this sort of nonsense. Military hologram. No. Ball plasma during magnetic change. Nope. Moving independently? Correct. So there must have been some proper comments. I reckon they deleted all of them. There must be at least 1,000 people out there that would say flares. Right. They must have deleted them. Dude, it's parachuters. Who are you kidding? I believe aliens out there, but pushing stuff like this does us no justice. Yay! Someone with a brain. Fab. Why aren't you following me? Those burning type objects. I was saying 30 or more. Well, in America, they're using flares quite a lot. Military exercises and also Coast Guard. Chinese lanterns. No, that's the next video. Too bad the guy wasn't closer. Or you mean had a decent camera? Yeah, that's that funny comment. I might as well read it out now. Does Gufon Rich even view these videos before commenting? Blake, can you explain what the benefit is to have numerous individuals describe what is clearly see for ourselves? Michael from Dakar seems to be the only person who constantly reports with passion. Yeah, but he's still clueless. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, so yeah, what did the stupid Gufon have to say about it? Let's have a little laugh.
Then it reappears as it traverses.
Here he is. Give us some wisdom. 17-year balloon expert.
Plane in the area that we could see, and you don't hear anything. Now, I don't know exactly how far away we are from the lights, but they do tend to hover in certain areas. Not only that, you even see the lights, it's just my opinion, it looks like they're taking off and then they pop up again. The light gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it's gone. And it looks like they're
That's what flares do.
And then they appear again. It's a unique sighting. I have to give this guy credit. He doesn't know what it is.
That's when they first light it. It's obviously going to make a bit of more glow before it settles down, right? So they're not moving away, but they are definitely moving in a zigzag pattern, going that way, then back this way, and go back this way. So the lights are going to get smaller.
It is. He named it.
How to tell it's not a UFO? One, it's not doing any crazy movements, like it's not shooting upwards. Now, if it went up vertically upwards, that would be a good hint that it's not parachutes or flares, right? If it shot left, then right, then we'd probably be whether it's CGI or not, right? Also moving upwards, but sometimes you can discount that depending if you got like two videos of the same scene, which is often we don't get. Now, I keep saying if you're going to record UFOs, always set up another camera on tripod of you filming it, because that might capture something that you missed as well. And of course, if it's like a locked off camera further off in the distance, even if it's on top of the car, it might, if it's a real UFO, it's less likely to disturb that camera than it is on the one on you, and may not even realize there's another camera off in the distance, right? I've talked about this with the chase investigation she did, where the TR-3B flew overhead and none of her tech worked, and she didn't have any locked off cameras in the distance filming the scene. And of course that was the smoking gun evidence. So if you've not seen that live, I did, go and check it out. MUFON could have had this disclosure for us back in 2010 if they had the cameras working, and they also ran into an alien. So yeah, what live stream was that one? Must be at least 30 back now. Here it is, that one there, with Chase on the front. Everybody knows Chase. He's now on TV a lot. trying to make money. So which one was that one? Livestream 366. So go and watch that one. If you've not seen it yet. So parachuters, we've done that one. Do we have anything else on that? And of course we read out.
Let me know your thoughts, Alex.
Comments.
Hi Blake. So this is a very interesting video. I like the video for a bunch of reasons.
Now this guy is normally a bit of a believer as well, rather for a scientist, but at least he got it correct here. He said it was more likely skydivers with lights, but he's still incorrect. That actually flares. You can see the flares being lit. I'm not sure if he's still talking.
Anyway, the what you see is a bunch of lights coming down, and there are as many as 5 or 6, and as little as 3 or 4, maybe 5. There's 5 or 6 lights out there, and what you see is them coming down in a relatively downward slope. You don't see any of them moving up. They seem to be falling at a constant rate.
Like gravity?
But they do combine and separate, which is very, very interesting. It's almost as though they had the ability to turn the lights off and on, come close to each other, maybe, stay next to each other. But they do continue on a downward slope, and that's interesting. Nothing ascends. At first I thought they could be...
Just like what I just said, right?
Flares, although flares would have smoke coming out of them. These don't have any smoke. So you can see,
yes, it does. You can see it's got some smoke traveling off here because it's in this direction here.
see, it's not inconceivable that the armed forces have a smokeless flare, but why would you have a smokeless?
Well, actually, they do. They actually have a bright, various LED colors now. A bright red one, a white one, and they run off batteries, and they can be handheld. So, but we can see the smoke there. They're not handheld LEDs. Also, we've got skydivers that have LEDs on their flying suits as well. They can light up and do patterns on their suits, but like we saw with the LED kite.
At any rate, these things seem to be coming down in an S-shape downward slope, which basically resembles skydivers. So, what I think these are is military skydivers on maneuvers landing at a military airfield.
So he's sort of half right. This regular pyro skydivers doing a practice run. Probably got an event coming up for a football stadium. So yeah, I think that's all it is on that one. Just get rid of third phase. And I think the last one we might just go over. That came out last night. Where's the images gone? This one here. I think I've got something at the end here. Yep. Okay. So we'll just go back to those ones in a minute. Now this one's fairly obvious.
To that, you might think that it could be some kind of possible invasion or something to the sort, but I'm not exactly sure if they give a heads up to the city. Is there some kind of celebration going on?
USA's invaded by zombies.
Array of lights. In my opinion, I'm leaning towards drones. What's your thoughts, Brent?
Yeah, if this was an actual event of UFO activity over there, over the city of Malaysia, I would think there'd be more activity, some sort of mention in the media, just breaking news. So yeah, obviously I think we're looking at some sort of human display of probably maybe Chinese lanterns, like you said earlier. They do show those characteristics. It is a little out of focus, so it just...
So what have we got? Massive fleet caught on video, but now they're telling you they're the Chinese lanterns, right? Desert disc in broad daylight. Buckle up for Chinese lanterns, guys. This is how ridiculous it is. They're trying to clickbait you, but they're trying also try and tell you the truth this time, that it's actually Chinese lanterns. And if you do a quick search online, Chinese New Year 2021, the Lunar New Year falls on February the 12th in 2021, with festivals taking place from February to the end of February, while the state of Penang is usually home for the biggest Chinese year. Okay, so it's kind of fits in with the right time frame. I'm not too sure when the video was taken. Have we got any dates at all? Is it in February or is it in March? Okay. Must be this guy here, maybe. Let's see what this timestamp is on the video. Virginia, that can't be the one. This is guy. I think that was a guy that was filming the SpaceX launch, wasn't it? Very bad camera work as well. So yeah, no mention of where they got that video from. But I think it's obviously from the end of February, right? And it fits in with the celebrations going on. But there is Chinese Lantern Festival 2021. Celebrated on the 15th day of the first China lunar month. The Lantern Festival marks the end of Chinese New Year spring festival period. So it's Friday, February the 26th ago. People will go out. Okay, fly Chinese lanterns. Plus you got the regular lanterns which hang. Still talking about February here, ends in Chinese New Year spring. But is there overflow into March is what we want to know. Any March mentioned? Okay, what have we got here? Let's just do a search for March. Oh, here we go. Updated on the March of 04. Oh, here we go. Lantern Festival dates. Is on the 15th day. Always between February the 5th and March, it says there. March, okay. March the 7th. Okay, so when was this? Obviously, it fits in the right date time. Because... March. When was this one put up? 20 hours ago, so that would have been the 8th, the day after. There you go. So it's to do with the Chinese New Year and Lantern Festival. So it all fits in the time frame. So it wasn't leftovers, so it's probably still going on. And as you saw on that first one, Malaysia. So they do have a lot of Chinese there that celebrate it. So I think that one's solved with a sort of Google search. So I don't think there's much more we can say on that one. But you can see here, that one I debunked last time. But you notice they don't zoom on it, right?
And as far as possible.
Oh, is it the one? That one there, with the black UFO-shaped balloons. Remember, it was like a bunch of balloons. I said it was on a fishing line. Probably a long sausage balloon that's sort of twisted together. And that one, okay. But it's good.
Daylight. So these are the.
See, you notice how they don't zoom in it, enhance it, which sort of gives it away that it's not actually a UFO. Another devious trick that these guys use. But I think if you watch this carefully, you can see some flickering of the
look on this
candles.
You know, it's strange, Brent. When I'm looking at this video a little bit closer,
if they could keep it from zooming in. Let's go frame by frame. Now we know they burn up to 12 minutes maximum. Yeah, too much movement, you see. Sometimes you might be able to see the candle flicker if there's some wind. That one just dimmed there, I think. You can see a slight dimming, but because it's always moving, there you go, that one dimmed. Lots of movement. It's not the best footage, is it? Okay, you can see it's getting brighter and then dimmer, like a candle flickering. But it's out of focus now. They're trying to show it's around cables there. You can see some flickering here. But anyway, it's Chinese lanterns. And they're always red colour. Because as you saw, the Chinese ones are mostly red. You know, the red paper they use. So let's move on to the more rocket launch. And it looks like a rocket launch here.
Able to capture this 800 miles away. If this,
it's got the cone shape exhaust fumes, which is typical of a rocket launch.
Yeah, it makes sense, Brent. Maybe they launched two different rockets or two different possible experiments.
So I thought maybe it was a plane with a contrail. But yeah, it definitely looks more rocket launchy.
All the support that you guys give us over as
it's basics, so yeah, this garbage. So we can move on to the next thing. Bigfoot. We'll just break up into Bigfoot. So I come across this one here. Bigfoot FBI file reveals strange story of a monster hunter and 15 mysterious hairs. Now, I talked about Expedition Bigfoot Season 2 is pretty good at the moment. And I just aired episode 10, but still leave you hanging. Which is a bit of a shame. But apparently they do get some DNA evidence in this series. So let's see how it pans out. But it does kind of look like it's Bigfoots could have some cloaking technology. Maybe they're aliens. And I know a lot of Bigfoot guys out there probably will say nah, but why couldn't they be primates from another planet? You know, makes you wonder if Chewbacca was based on a Bigfoot. There was lots of stories about Bigfoots seen flying flying saucers, like they could see it in the cockpit. There's a few stories out there about seeing them at the cockpit as it's coming down, and then walking out and then going into the forest. That being down in a beam of light, like Travis Walter claims, and all those other people that get abducted, right? Maybe it's a different species of alien that don't have that sort of technology, but they have cloaking ships and cloaking predator camouflage sort of thing. Maybe they come here to hunt, maybe deer, like I've talked about in the past. But anyway, this monster hunter, I'm not sure if that's a real legit photograph here or not, but let's just have a read of it. Bigfoot has a FBI file, image credit, rich vintage, Getty Images, so that's probably not the real photograph. But it would be that big, wouldn't it? It would be like 8 foot, and it would be massive across. US government released Bigfoot file yesterday, June the 5th. It contains a few new clippings and some formal letters to and from a monster hunter in the 1970s, leading to an examination of 15 hairs and some skin the hunter believed came from a Bigfoot. It appears that Peter Byrne, I suppose that's how you say his name, that monster hunter, first wrote to the FBI on August 26, 1976. Can't remember, there was a lot of Bigfoot movies on in my time around about that year. His note printed on letterhead reading, the Bigfoot Information Center and exhibition suggests that the FBI was in possession. Something missing there, isn't there? Flesh and hair belonging to the mysterious creature, possibly belonging to a Bigfoot. Gentleman Byrne wrote, will you kindly to set the record straight once and for all, inform us if the FBI has examined hair which might be that of a Bigfoot, which this took place. If it did take place, what's the results of the analysis? Tyrannosaurus photo meat. Okay, that's nothing to do with it. He didn't indicate why he suspected that the FBI may have done such an analysis, only that from time to time we have been informed that the hair and supposedly of a Bigfoot has been examined by FBI, with the conclusion as a report of examination that was not possible to compare what's that nonsense coming up? Compare the hair with that of any known creature on the continent. So it's still going on. Byrne to have been concerned that the agency wouldn't take the Bigfoot Information Center seriously. Please understand that our research here is serious. This is a serious question that needs answering. We also assured the agency that they needn't not worry about his implying their involvement in his work. An examination of the hair or the opposite, but the FBI does not in any way, as far as we are concerned, suggest the FBI is in association with our project. Okay, what we're getting down to, guys, that's going on a wee bit here. Since the publication of Washington Environment Atlas in 1975, which referred to such examinations, received several inquiries similar to yours. He wrote, however, we have been unable to locate any references to such examination in our files. More than 2 months later, on November, Boone replied, perhaps emboldened by the early response, he asked not for information but for favour. Briefly, we do not often come across here which we are unable to identify, and the hair that we have now, attached to a tiny piece of skin, is the first that we have attained in 6 years, which we feel may be of importance. So have they got a picture of it or not, of the Bigfoot? Most Bigfoot sightings are eventually discounted as insubstantial or faked. Damn fakers, hoaxers. Paper recounted several of those supposedly more credible sightings. Okay, keep on going. The hairs which you recently delivered to the FBI laboratory on behalf of Bigfoot, blah blah blah, included the study of morphological characteristics such as root structure, go away, thickness. Hairs were compared directly with hairs of known origin under comparison microscope. It was concluded as a result of these examinations that the hairs are of deer family. The hair sample you submitted is being returned as enclosure to this letter. So, yeah. So that was one of the things in FBI files. So nothing burger there compared to what we're seeing on TV now with life investigation with the black helicopters flying around. Seems to suggest that the government do know about the Bigfoots. It's all very suspicious on the TV show. But yeah, would have been good if they had a picture from the Bigfoot hunter. But that's always the case. The hairs always turn out to be bear, deer, and what else? Rodents or human died here. But maybe Expedition Bigfoot have finally found some credible evidence where there's no people. And they have got bears, and if it's not a bear, then and they say it's definitely a primate, that'll be interesting to see what they come up with. So, come across this new show coming up on April the 20th called Sasquatch, and looks like it's got a few episodes here. So I'll read out what it's going to say here. So it's got 3 episodes. Whether there's going to be more, I don't know. Maybe it's just a 3-parter. Let's see. Does it give us an overview? Probably on the first one, is it? Yep, so we'll read out the bottom one. Investigative journalist David Holthouse returns to the Emerald Triangle, a cannabis growing region with a dark history, to investigate rumors he first heard in 1993 about a triple homicide perpetrated by a Sasquatch. What's that word? Devolving into the violent criminal subculture in the northern Californian mountains. David confronts very real threats in pursuit of tangible evidence. So this kind of sounds interesting, doesn't it? So I thought there was more to that story. Let's see if we can find some more on it. Sasquatch. I thought I had another link. Time is flying. Sasquatch. So it's not always debunking, it's also little bits like this I put in here. Sasquatch, Hulu. Let's see what it says. See if we can find out some more information on it. That's the one we got. Duplass brothers go on the hunt for Sasquatch. Is that the same thing? January the 14th. Sounds like the same thing. Let's have a look at that one. Here's a video. Anyway. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I can't hear any crackle, so that's good. Okay, documentary. New documentary series coming to Hulu. Is that how you say that? Hulu. Alright. It is a 3-parter. Mark Duplass and Jay Duplass series from Lorena. Blah blah blah. So where's the full story on it? We want the full story of why he's gone back there. About the murder. What's so strange about it? Oh. What's that one there? Broadway. That one's got a fair bit more writing. Okay, here we go. While visiting a pot farm in Northern California in 1993, investigative journalists heard a story that still haunts him. On a nearby farm, 3 men were torn limb from limb in a savage Bigfoot attack. Really? Would that kill someone if you tore off their arms? I suppose you would bleed to death, wouldn't you? If you can't stop the bleeding. Torn from where though? It's got to be... Must be very strong to do that, right? Take on 5 men? They must have been shooting at it, surely. Sasquatch follows David as... Sasquatch... Not Sasquatch. The documentary follows David as he revisits the redwoods 25 years later in search of any evidence that may lead to the truth of what happened that night. As he pulls at the threads of the story, he's been taken down a path that's far more terrifying than anyone would have imagined. But this Bigfoot's dangerous though. They seem to be like not attacking, they always seem to slip away. So why would they attack? Maybe because you attack them first, maybe? Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So the series is directed by blah blah. And that's what we got. So we have to wait till it comes on here, I suppose. So what's the other parts we got? What's the next episode? Let's see. Spy Rock. Delving into the violent criminal subculture. Very real threats in pursuit of tangible evidence. That's what it says. Okay, what's the last one? Meeting with underground sources and confronting dangerous suspects. David follows the trail of his investigation deeper into the dark forest of greed, murder, and revenge. So, yeah. That sort of changes it a bit of the bunch of murderers that get torn limb by limb. Had the net was a Bigfoot. I suppose we have to see when it comes on. So if you're going to murder someone, you could blame it on Bigfoot. Maybe that's what the real truth is here. Because really, Bigfoot hasn't really been violent from what we're seeing. Okay, moving on. Okay, last thing for today. Might better fit it in 2 hours. Is UFOs worldwide. And he put up this video. Have I got it handy? Alright, one last thing I added on here. 1 billion records. The Blackvault put this out yesterday. The FIOA request that yielded 1 billion responsive records. And of course, it was to do with Trump's emails and what was the question they were asking? Let's have a quick look.
A request, according to the United States Secret Service, yielded 1 billion responsive records. 1 billion. Never in the history of doing this have I ever had 1 billion. Had hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. However, I've never broken the billion mark. So the context is this. When President Donald Trump was leaving office, there were some headlines that went around that said that he was requesting and expanding his Secret Service detail in a last-minute action to his family and their spouses. So in essence, what he was doing is taking the Secret Service protection that he is allowed for the rest of his life through the Secret Service and expanding it to his family and their spouses. Now, the reasoning for that and whether or not it was a good decision or bad decision, I'll let you guys hash that out. Feel free to do so in the comments. I'm sure it'll get fairly ugly. But regardless...
Well, it kind of makes sense, right? So they could target his family and use them as ransom. But who pays for the Secret Service? Well, the taxpayers would have to put men to follow people around all the time. It costs the taxpayers more and more money. When he could, they meant to be a rich bunch, billionaires, they could pay their own security guards, right? So yeah. Mind you, didn't Donald Trump take a salary? He didn't take a salary, did he? But anyway, 1 billion records for that seems excessive, doesn't it? So I'm not too sure what the search criteria would be for there. But obviously it got rejected. Need to narrow it down more. If you want to listen to what he's blabbing on there, I'll post a link to the side. John... on for 1 billion records. Imagine if we got 1 billion records for the UFO stuff though. I'll post it in the side chat, should pop up now. If you want to grab it. I will back up to a text file after the show ends. Okay, so which one were we looking at here? Let's see if I can find it. I think it's this one here. Is it River Balloon or UFO? Okay, so just have a watch of this one. It's a MUFON case number. Actually, I think I downloaded it. I downloaded the original files here. Okay, so we'll just have a look at his video and give it a plug, I suppose. So we're looking at this little funny shaped ring.
And capture I checked out this morning. It's coming from us from Hillsborough, Tennessee in the United States. It took place on July 26th, 2020 at approximately 7:25 p.m. What this person had to say was they were looking at this object and it appeared to be the planet Venus, or it looked like it, and it was in the early evening. But it was in the wrong part of the sky, you guys. So they got their telescope out and they were amazed.
Okay, so you can get the ring pattern if you film Saturn. But in this case, once we play the video, it becomes a bit more obvious what he's trying to do. So let's just play the video further.
It comes down to discerning it. Is this a UFO, you guys? Or is this just a weather balloon? It's really, you know, it's hard to say. It does look like a weather balloon in some of these shots here. So we're going to go ahead and scrub through.
I'll just get on with it.
Look at this object here, you guys. It's very extremely fascinating. This is being filmed through a telescope lens as far as I can tell, and he's having some struggles because he's trying to keep the video going and the camera lens in line with the telescope. In some of these shots, there's not as much detail. But then further on into it, you start to see more detail show up. It's almost like he changed around some of the color settings, or just all that we've been programmed into thinking is associated with flying saucers. Look at this. You can clearly see the white edge this person's talking about. You can see here. You that want to go and watch his cap. Let's see here.
Okay, it starts to zoom it in now.
Move it over here. That's at 400 times the size.
Okay, you can start to see that's got some sort of faded peak happening here. Right. I've seen this before, especially with telephoto lenses extenders, where that doesn't fit properly. But you can start to see that it's sort of got something coming up the middle there.
Eyes, you guys.
So he's got a bright light source of some sort coming in, whether it's the sun, reflection of the moon, or light. And it's going inside the telephoto lens. And let's see. Why is that bigger than normal? Make it smaller. So we need to draw a picture of what he's got going on here. Was that not opening? Okay, it's a bit slow. So this looks like he's got a telescope connected to a camera lens, but it looks like he's moving it by hand. It's not actually clipped on. It looks like he's holding it in front. Tube. Have we got a tube here? Yeah, it's going the wrong way though. We'll do it that way. So you got the telephoto lens, and then you got your camera lens. And normally you have them connected properly. But it looks to me like he's moving this up and down here. And when you do that, you start to get internal camera reflections. So obviously there's going to be multiple lenses in here. It's not lined up, but you get the idea. Where you can zoom into small objects, and then you got some inside the camera, and then you got the sensor. So generally what happens is you got the bright light source coming in. Could be a reflection of the moon, could be external light from a street lamp, but comes in, and basically lenses, they change the focal point here to zoom in onto an object. It sort of bends the light down, and it travels through multiple lenses onto the sensor. Right, trying to extend that one. It's meant to be a straight line. Looks like I stuffed up a wee bit there. But anyway, so what happens is, as I've talked about in the past, is that you get reflections of glass that bounces back and sends it back out the front of the telescope. And it's not showing up very good there. Bugger. Why is it not changing it? Orange is not really good, but there you go. So what it does is it then causes a reflection back from the back of the glass here and sends it along to the sensor. Right, so it creates a false image of the light. So you get the original light, or you can get the false image. And what he's done here is he's moving it by hand here, and it's misaligning, right? So you're not getting the original light source, but you're getting the false image coming through. So you'll be getting the false one that's down here, and not the one, because he's misaligning it here at that point there. And I'm not sure if he actually says that in the description. And of course, because it's reflections, you can invert the image, and if it's slightly misaligned here, it's going on a different angle, right? So you're actually looking at the light on a different to what you're seeing with other devices, maybe like binoculars. Maybe you don't even see it because this is like a artificial image, right? So has he said anything in the description here? It's locked in on the object, and then trying to get your phone camera lens centered into the middle of the eyepiece. So it wasn't even a professional camera, but it says it was it one of these clip-on lenses, which are really bad. They never line up properly. Of course, then you're going to get lens flare, and you're going to get reflections. Okay. Let's see if we say some more.
What a weird object.
So I did some analysis on it. So we'll just play his original videos first. Okay, so these are some of the original ones. Now you can see there's definitely a light source in the middle here, whether that's the moon. I think it might be the moon. I thought maybe it was in the daytime even. The sun, but in this case it looks like it might be. Might have to look at the original case number. What number was it? 14 thing. So let's see if we can find it. 114015. Let's find out what time he recorded it. So we can see whether it's the moon, a light, or the sun, or... Because you can actually see the planets during the day, right? Or twilight periods. 015. I have got some example images. And of course, if you've watched my Dr. Lear Turkish alien heads video, which was also done by the same sort of means, but the guy was filming like little screw heads inside the camera where it clips on, because it was ill-fitting. It wasn't the same maker telephoto extender, which is like a clip-on of a clip-on onto the camera, a handy cam, and of course all those mirrors, all those lenses and internal reflections all over the place. And he was actually filming the edge of the inside of the camera. It wasn't actually on the outside at all. But you have to go and watch my live stream on that one. You can probably look it up here. Which is also internal camera artifacts. Turkey, maybe. Or Turkish. Or Dr. Lear, probably. That was my initial thing, where I thought it was pretty good analysis until when I first started 4 years ago. I didn't know much about internal camera artifacts and extenders, but I do now. And I managed to overlay this one here. Alien footage debunked again. And that's the one to go and watch. I'll post it on the side. Internal camera artifact. Dr. Lear footage, which we all thought were aliens. We all got fooled by it, and he got fooled by it. Until we learn the parts of the camera used and look at it with new eyes, which is basically what I did. And I overlay the image like I did at the very beginning of this show, showing you how the holes and the heads were made. Although I couldn't find the particular correct part of the camera for what I needed, because it is old. How come I didn't copy? I'll just try that again. Ah, right, it's just running slow, is it? No. Alright, there you go. I think it might be queued to the part that you're after as well there. If not, just scroll back. That one always triggers people, especially believers. They don't like you debunking Dr. Lear's footage or Skinny Bob. The main two ones, I think. Is there any other ones? So Cairo. I have my theories on that one too. What's the other pet ones? Travis Walton, which I've also done a video on, which puts some suspicion on his stuff. Okay, so did we actually get the number searched? No, we didn't. We stopped what we were doing. What's it doing? 114105. We got 16 there. That must have got deleted, the other one then. It's 15, that's correct. Here we go. Look like Venus in the evening. Okay, so it looks like it might be the moon. What's the time? 7:30 at night. It's not exactly dark then, is it? New Zealand doesn't get dark till about 9. I'm not too sure about that location though. So that could be like the moon coming up and the sun just going down and it's creating a full moon perhaps. I'm not too sure if it was a full moon that night. But yeah, it's got some still images. Okay, that one's obviously out of focus. And they're not very good. What did that one say? We got a believer. It doesn't know anything about cameras. So it's definitely still available. But unfortunately with UFO Stalker we don't get to see what the conclusion was, which is really annoying. What the investigators said. So 7:30 at night. It does seem a lot of light coming in. Here's the object that's appearing. And you can see here the curvature is obviously inside the camera, right? It's not lined up properly. So we're seeing an image, a false image on the back of a lens here. And the camera's recording it. But it's actually on the back of the telescope lens, right? And he's just angling it around, changing the position of it. Skim it. Okay, what does he do here? He changes the focus or something. There we go. He's changing back the luminosity sensor, is it? Brightness. You can see he's twiddling something there. It's gradually fading. You can see the peak is less. See, now he's got the peak that's vanished there, right? Because he's turned back the luminosity. So why does it create a ring? Well, it's to do with light interference pattern. You know, you've heard of the double slit experiment, where if the lenses are not, it's going through multiple lenses, and if it's not in focus properly, it can actually create these ring patterns. And you can see here's a light source here now. You can see how small it is. And that's like a lens flare, right? A lens flare with possibly a reflection going on. And it's inverted it somehow through the lenses system. And of course then we got this other one. Now this one's interesting. That definitely looks like it's not nighttime though. It's too bright, isn't it? Does he actually tell us what camera he's using there? Is it a smartphone? What's he say for the blurb? That's it. We almost saw a jellyfish. We got a ring with a cone shape. Yeah, just going to wrap up in a minute. Looks like it's dinner time here in 10 minutes, so we better wrap up soon. So yeah, we've got no information on the camera. Whether it's night vision, it could be night vision, why it's sort of doing this. It's amplifying the moonlight. There you go, you can see all the lenses then when he rotated it inside the telescope. Looks like there might be a couple of lenses. Went too fast. There you go, look. 1, 2, and 3. And then you can see this one here off the camera. So that's the telephoto lens that he's holding up onto it. Or the clip-on lens. And here's the edge of the lens on the camera. And bingo, the light source lens flare is the correct way around now. So he's twisting it and rotating it somehow. And there's mucking around with the illumination. And there you can see it going out of focus. It made the bigger ring. There we go. And we saw something there of his camera. So is that a smartphone or not? Looks like it's on a tripod. That doesn't look like a smartphone, does it? Telescope on a tripod, but is it a smartphone? He's holding up to the lens. It's a bit hard to tell. Shame he didn't take photographs of what he was of the equipment. But anyway, got some examples of lens flares like that with a light source. But these are daytime ones from the sun, not the moon. And you can see here we've got these Mexican hats with the rings occurring. Depending on the camera and whether it's night vision, obviously you're going to get more detailed ring shape. Okay, so we saw that happening in his video there. Okay, there's one example. Got more. Is that another one? That's another good one. You can see all these lens flares. So these happen at the glass lenses, right? Here's the Mexican hat shape occurring here again with the rings. So far it's the wrong angle to what he was showing us here. There's quite a few lenses in that one. A smartphone can have quite a few lenses in it. And we've got another one here somewhere. This one here. Up here. This is either a street lamp or moon reflection we've got here. We've got lens flares going this way. But we also got one pair in the other direction. And let's just zoom in on it here. Alright, so depending how you adjust the luminosity, we've got the ring occurring with the cone shape pattern happen. Although I know I've seen a better one, and of course I zoomed in here myself and enhanced it, and that's very close to what he was getting. You got the ring pattern, still got the right angle though, but it's close, and it's got the peak which he faded away. So to get a perfect example of a lens flare reflection, It's a bit tricky. But that's it, I think. What's that one? That's one we've seen. We looked at that one. Here's another one. No, we've seen that one. Another one here, I think. Here's another one. I think we've seen that one. That's the car. It looks like a car. That's same as the other one we were looking at, I think. Was it that one? Is that the same car? Yeah, it is. Someone's just cropped it in, right? So that's what I think it is. It seems to match. Especially that video there, I think. Why is it not coming up now? Okay, there's the light source. You can see it's a lens flare because it's moving with the camera lens, right? Here's the back of the telescope. These are the lenses inside the telescope. And here's the mixing hat, but he's got it so bright that we're not seeing any of the other reflections. I don't know if I can zoom in at the same time. Let's have a look. See that? That's exactly, it's a lens flare. It's got this circle, but he's managed to bend it around with the telescope. See, he can sort of change the angle a wee bit. How you get that to be a weather balloon, I don't know. Certainly not a UFO. As an alien craft. I thought it was going to move on a bit quicker then. Oh, don't need that. Okay, now it adjusts it about there, doesn't it? Let's see, we want to get it before then. I can hear a dog in the background. See, there's the cone shape that you get with the lens flare. Now it's dimming it down. You can see the cone is starting to fade now. And you're just seeing the bottom of the lens flare. Pretty cool though. It's very impressive. Had to make a fake video of a UFO. But obviously he didn't know. He's obviously an amateur, right? But anyway, got to go. I've got to have dinner. 2 hours is what I was planning to do, and we've gone over it. Thanks for the new 2 followers. I hope you join me in future ones. Probably give it another couple of days, and I'll have another video probably to do. But I'll just say good night and take care on the roads. And I'll see you then. And now I've got to upload it everywhere. It's always work to do. I forgot to talk about various lens flares that you can get. I'll leave that for next time. Just to recap it, maybe. We've got to keep learning. All of us got to keep learning. See things with new eyes. So we don't get fooled by mundane stuff. If if you want to see proper silver UFOs, maybe you won't see them today. Maybe their technology's improved and now they've got agreement with the government where they have to stay cloaked all the time, unlike the 1950 UFO photographs. Who knows? But I know my friends have seen the classic sources over forests, and they do exist. So I'd like to see that myself one day. But good night, and ending now.